take that in. Spirit saying to you, I am here. I am here. There's a power for good in this universe greater than we are, and we can use it. I mean, really, there is a power for good in this universe greater than you are, and you can use it. That, of course, is the teaching of the science of mind and spirit, the teaching that gives us so many tools and offers us so many ways to connect with that oneness, with that power that is greater than we are. So, what do you say? Do you want more of that power for good in your life? Anyone? Yes, okay, great. Well, one of the most powerful ways to use that power for good is spiritual mind treatment, or what is also called affirmative prayer. It's one of the things that we teach that is so vital to our teaching and can make such a difference in our life. So that's our topic today, powerful affirmative prayer. And I want to thank Reverend Brian Akers of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in Columbia, Maryland, for sharing his thoughts with all of the CSL ministers on this topic. Affirmative prayer includes some of the most important teachings of the science of mind and spirit. It includes the teaching that God is all there is. It includes the teaching that we are one with it, that we can never be separated from that godness, from that power, from that love that is all around us and within us. And then there's the teaching that we're here to co-create our lives, that we are here using our thoughts and our beliefs, using what we believe, using what we have faith in to create, to co-create with the divine. The experiences, the people that show up for us, the opportunities that we have, all the things about our life. And affirmative prayer reinforces the creative power of gratitude and the importance of letting go. We're going to talk a little bit about the steps of prayer this morning, but the last couple of steps are gratitude and letting go, so that we can actually move into what we have claimed. Let me be clear. We don't think in our teaching that spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer is the only way to build faith. We know that the purpose of prayer is to build faith within us, to build belief, to get us to believe that what we desire is already ours, and that there is a universe out there that is assisting us, that is supporting us, that is giving us all that we need to move into the life that we want to lead. Ernest Holmes said, "We have nothing new. We simply have a new approach to an old truth, a more intelligent, a more systematic way of consciously arriving at faith," because that's where we want to end up, faith. He also said, it's not the form of the treatment which you give or the prayer which you make that gives it power. Rather, it is your faith. It is your faith. So, affirmative prayer is not the only way to cultivate faith and change our thinking, and thus change the experience of our life. It is the way that our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, developed, and it's what we teach in our teaching, honoring what all other religions do, of course. It's based on sound spiritual principle, and here's the thing. It works. It works if we use it. It absolutely works. The science of mind states that what we experience in our life is a direct result of what we believe. A direct result of what we believe. In other words, our life is an outpicturing of what we consciously and unconsciously have faith in. What we believe, what we think is true. Maybe it's what we have learned from just growing up. But what we believe affects what we experience. Spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer is a specific way of focusing our minds, of opening up our conscious minds to the idea that more is available for us if we will open to it. That as long as we can unify, can remember that there's only God, can unify with that, we are powerful. And the words that we speak, as long as we have feeling behind them, are powerful. Affirmative prayer, as we teach it, is a 5-step process. But before you start the 5 steps, and I don't know why they didn't count this as the first step, it's important to have a purpose. I mean, why are you praying? What are you praying for? So it's always good to get clear about what it is. It's valid to pray for anything, absolutely anything, for yourself or another that doesn't harm anyone and that doesn't limit anyone. I mean, you can pray for a promotion in your job, but I wouldn't advise praying that your boss gets fired so you can have their job. You know, let's keep it positive. The most effective prayers are those that call forth the highest good for absolutely everyone concerned. So if your boss doesn't like his or her job, you might pray for them to get the perfect job for them and so that they can do what they want. But we want to be praying for the good of everybody. That's an important one. Now, as an example of this purpose thing, Mary and I are leaving on Thursday to go to SOAR, which is the Center for Spiritual Living summer retreat, and it'll be in Park City, Utah. It's always really, really a wonderful experience. And so the purpose for my prayer, using this as an example, is I want safe, easy travel, fun, and deep, deep inspiration. So there's my purpose, and I'll kind of come back to that later. So once we know the purpose for our prayer, we can move into the 5 steps. The first of those steps is recognition. What we're recognizing is that God is all there is. All there ever has been, all there ever will be. There's only one source of creative energy in the universe. We can call it God or Spirit or Joe or whatever we want. I mean, what we call it isn't important. It's that knowing of the power and the love and all that is behind it. It's the only power. It's the source of all ideas. And it's the source of all of the substance from which everything is made. I mean, this stuff that we are made of is godness, because there isn't anything else. So, once we have recognized that God is all there is, and I know this is review for some of you, but I don't know if you're like me, you can stand a little bit of review every once in a while. Once we have recognized that God is all there is, then unification is the second step. I am one with it. I wouldn't have life if it were not God living in, through, and as me. You are one with it. When we recognize our oneness with it, we can absolutely remember that just as the universe created the galaxies, all that is, we get to create in our own lives. So when we unify with it, we claim that power. Everything is created twice. First as an idea. And then once we put that idea out there, there is what's called in our teaching the law, that's kind of this magic thing that makes things come into being. I mean, it's like when you have to have a plan before you make a building or bake a cake or whatever you're going to do. But with our ideas, then once we get clear on what we want and know that we deserve it, then the law takes over and makes things easy for us, provides what we need to move into the life of our dreams. So we've recognized that God is all there is. We've remembered that we are one with it. And the next step is realization or declaration. Now this is where we kind of look back at our purpose and say, oh, this is why I'm praying. This is what I want. And then we declare that it is ours. I love your reading, Lori, as always, of course. We can declare that it is already ours. And so in the case of my purpose, my declaration is our trip is safe, easy, and deeply inspiring. Oh, and fun. Oh, fun. Safe, easy, fun, and deeply inspiring. So I can state that. And as I do, it helps me to remember, oh yeah, this is possible. With God, we can do this. No problem at all. Now, of course, just saying the words isn't enough. Just saying the words isn't enough. I need to have faith in them. I need to believe what I'm saying. And part of the whole thing of prayer is convincing ourselves that what we say is our truth. So I can do that in several ways. I can remember that nothing is too hard for God. Nothing is too good for me. And therefore, with Spirit's help, this can happen. And it will be wonderful. Now, I can imagine that there's an energy of peace and goodness on the road as we drive to the airport. That affects everybody who is driving on that road. I can imagine that at the airport there is this amazing sense of wonder and adventure that enables everyone at the airport to take in as much of this energy as they can, as much as joy as they are willing to experience. I can just imagine the airport being filled with that, and then, of course, the airplane as well. I can imagine waking up or going to bed at night at the retreat after having had such an incredible day. Now, all of this imagining stuff helps to convince me, helps to build my faith and strengthen my faith that what I have claimed, it's not only possible, it's done. Mm-hmm. Now, the next step is thanksgiving. Now, once I have gone through all of this, it is so easy for me to remember that this is going to be an incredible trip, that it is just absolutely natural for me to give thanks for it. I am already grateful that this is going to be an amazing retreat. So much fun. I don't know if I'm going to do zip lining this year again or not. No, it was fine last year. So because I can easily imagine all of this, it's so easy to be thankful for it. So easy to be thankful for it. And the last step is release, letting go. It's knowing that all that I need to make this happen is already provided. That Spirit is filling my path with everything that is needed. Everything that is needed for me to have just an amazing time, for Mary to have an amazing, for everybody at the retreat to have an amazing time. Now, there's kind of a catch. I let all this go. I'm grateful for it. But I have to do my part. It's not like this is just some magic that, okay, God, give me a great trip and I'm just going to sit here. Really, I have to do my part. I have to walk out into the world, get in the car, blessing the people on the road, show up at the airport, blessing the people at the airport, knowing that that is all part of my joy, that is all part of what I have asked for. I have to be willing to do my part. So treatment is how we build and strengthen our faith. Recognition reminds us that God is all there is. Unification reminds us of our connection to it, our oneness with it. Realization or declaration allows us to get clear about what it is we want, what it is we're willing to open up to in our life, what it is we are willing to step toward and move toward. Thanksgiving, of course, just helps our conviction and our acceptance. And then when we let it go, knowing that we deserve what we have asked for because we are one with the divine, when we let it go, we can just know that Spirit is taking over, that this thing we call the law is at work in our lives. As Karen's saying, knowing that I am here and that can be whispered in our ear from the divine. And then Ernest Holmes gives us this reminder. Between prayers, try to keep your mind poised in such a way that you do not contradict what you have said in your treatment. Keep your mind open at all times to divine influx of new inspiration, new power, and new life. So if I'm going to just pray for anything, say a new friendship, and then I sit in my house and I don't do my part, I have to keep my mind poised in such a way that I stay open, that I allow Spirit to just lavish on me the gifts that it is always lavishing. Now, prayer treatment is not an attempt to beg or plead with God to give us something that we don't have or to save us from something. Not necessary. Prayer is simply a tool that helps us focus our conscious mind. Where is that? Don't you just want to go there? Yeah. It's beautiful. Right. Prayer is a tool that helps us focus our conscious mind so that we can deliberately choose actions and thoughts that lead us from one moment into the next, into the life of our dreams. Now, y'all heard Lori pray up here. Wasn't it beautiful?
Gorgeous.
Yeah. You don't need to be able to pray like Lori does in order to have effective prayers. It's not our words. We don't have to be masters, because what's important is the feeling and the faith behind those words. The knowing that we deserve, the open to all of the gifts, the willingness to step up and do our part. We really don't need to get wrapped up in whether we're doing it right. It's more important that we cultivate our faith. Meister Eckhart has said, if the only prayer you ever uttered was thank you, that would suffice. So as long as you're praying from your heart, knowing that it is already yours and that you are blessed, you are praying right. Now, while some think that prayer is an attempt to get the divine to do something for us that we can't do for ourselves, in actuality, that's not right. It's a matter of having the faith that the more we embody the good we are asking for, the more that good will be given to us. If I want joy, then the more I express joy, the more joy is going to come back to me. I could be just walking down the street and I'll see the most joyful people, And it just works that way. The more we are willing to step into it, the more we give Spirit an opportunity to bless us in expected and unexpected ways. And aren't those unexpected blessings just the coolest? The result of our prayer needs to be our willingness to step up, our willingness to live in a new way that corresponds to the dreams, that corresponds to what we have asked for in prayer, what we are open to. So prayer is a tool. The more we practice it, the better we get at convincing ourselves that God is here for us. Now, when we practice affirmative prayer regularly, it becomes an amazing power tool. Now, we all like power tools, right? When you want to get something done, get out the power tools. Well, prayer is a power tool. Now, it's best if we do it often and not just every once in a while when you need to fix the garage door. But it is a powerful, powerful tool. And the key to answered prayer has less to do with words, has more to do with feeling, but it has everything to do with faith, with trusting that what we have claimed is now ours because we are one with the divine. It wants to delight us. It wants us to have good trips, good friendships, good relationships, abundance, all of the good in the world. So God is here for you. God is here for you. Don't you forget it. Okay?
Okay.
Now, as practitioners stand in high consciousness with me, practitioners and ministers, because they're always practitioners, I am going to start by reading one of Ernest Holmes' prayers. Everything that I do, say, or think is governed by divine intelligence and inspired by divine wisdom. I'm guided into right action. I'm surrounded with friendship, love, and beauty. Enthusiastic joy, vitality, and inspiration are in everything I do. I am aware of my partnership with the infinite. Every thought of not being wanted, of being afraid, of uncertainty and doubt is cast out of my mind. My memory goes back to God alone, in whom I live, move, and have my being. A complete sense of happiness, peace, and certainty floods me with light. I have confidence in myself because I have confidence in God. I am sure of myself because I am sure of God. The spirit within me knows the answer to any problem which confronts me. I know that the answer is here and now. It is within my own mind because God is right where I am. I now turn from the problem to the spirit, accepting the answer. In calm confidence, in perfect trust, in abiding faith, and with complete peace, I let go of the problem and receive the answer. I know exactly what to do in every situation. Every idea necessary to successful living is brought to my attention. The doorway to ever-increasing opportunities for self-expression is open before me. I'm continuously meeting new and larger experiences. Every day brings some greater good. Every day brings more blessing and greater self-expression. I am prospered in everything I do. There is no deferment, no delay, no obstruction or obstacle, nothing to impede the progress of right action. I identify myself with abundance. I surrender all fear and doubt. I let go of all uncertainty. I know there is no confusion, no lack of confidence. I know that what is mine will claim me, know me, rush to me. The presence of God is with me. The mind of God is my mind. The freedom of God is my freedom. Today I bestow the essence of love upon everything. Everyone I meet shall be lovely to me. My soul meets the soul of the universe in everyone. This love is a healing power, touching everything into wholeness. I am one with the rhythm of life. There's nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be uncertain about. God is over all, in all, and through all. God is right where I am. I am at peace with the world in which I live. I am at home with the divine spirit in which I am immersed. And so what I absolutely know is that this is the truth for each one of us. Each one of us here, each one of us hearing my voice, knowing that God is all there is. It is right here for us. We open to it. We claim our good, We give thanks for it, we release it, and it is so. And so I claim that each person here goes forward this week having their path just absolutely filled with all of the blessings that they need and desire, remembering that they deserve good because they are of God, remembering that there is only God and it is here for them. And so what I do is I just am grateful, grateful, grateful for all of this. And in my gratitude, I release it. I let it go. I let God do what God does so well, which is bring things that we have claimed into form. It is good. It is very good. And so it is.